The Canadian Open has been on the end of some heavy criticism at this year's tournament. There have been numerous big-name withdrawals from this year's tournament, with Jannik Sinner, Novak Djokovic, and Carlos Alcaraz pulling out of the men's Canadian Open event, while Aryna Sabalenka elected to skip the WTA tournament. This is not the only criticism that the event has received, with Frances Tiafoe calling the Canadian Open garbage for something that has changed this year, while Alexander Zverev has spoken about the conditions at the Canadian Open and has called them ridiculous. Now, both tournament directors of the Canadian Open have answered these critics and revealed if they plan to make changes. Tournament director of WTA Canadian Open responds to criticism. For the first time this year, the Canadian Open is taking place over 12 days, and will actually hold its finals on a Thursday instead of the traditional Sunday. The Cincinnati Open is also taking place over 12 days this year, meaning that the Canadian Open has been brought forward. This gave just 2 weeks between the conclusion of Wimbledon and the start of the Canadian Open, something that is being suggested has caused more withdrawals for the ATP WTA events. Now, former player and tournament director of the Women's Canadian Open event, Valérie Tétrault, has spoken in a press conference about the issues that have been present this year. Tétrault confirmed that there is currently no plan to alternate the Canadian Open and Cincinnati Open at the moment, but suggested that she does expect there to be less withdrawals in 2026, as there will be an extra week between Wimbledon. On the first question, it's not part of any discussion right now, the possibility of alternating between Cincinnati and Canada in terms of the weeks in the calendar, said Tétrault. That being said, I do think that this year we were probably more impacted because of the 2 weeks in between Wimbledon and our tournament.